Many jobs are romanticized. What do people think you do, and what do you actually do? Programmer. In university you are taught all this cool theory and _and abstract _math. In 90% of the jobs, you mostly take meetings to decide what to code, and do some basic programming for 3H. Except it's not 3H, because some random ass error pops up. Nothing works, and the only reference to it is a 2 years old Stack Overflow thread which got closed, because it was a duplicate of an unanswered question. Lawyers. I have a job in research, but some of my family members are attorneys. Not criminal. It's very stressful. Mistakes or potentially losses of tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the hours are insanely long. It's a lot of reading. No sexiness like in those shows like Suits. Lol. I'm an doctor. My mom thinks I save lives all day, but I mostly deal with frustrated people who need primary care and administrative BS. I also spend a lot of time hanging out with intoxicated people and am assaulted once or twice a year. One bonus is that I personally know all the homeless guys I see on my days off. I'm a scenic painter. I paint sets and backdrops for theatrical productions. I absolutely love my profession, but it's much less expressive artiste, making big beautiful pictures for backdrops and much more. Skilled laborer. I'm working on huge surfaces and mostly just rollering at simple colors like house interiors. And 50% of the job is just painting stuff built out of cheap wood to look like expensive wood. Lol. Airline pilot, which consists mainly of trying to stay awake at stupid times of day, staring at weather's reports, making plans and backup plans for everything that could happen, making small talk with the other guy who you have never met before but are now locked in a confined space with for 12 hours plus, wondering why you're now so tight that standing up feels like stretching, strategically timing your toilet use, spending a lot of the day needing to pee. Things go wrong all the time, but not in the exciting movie manner, but lots of small nagging problems that require constant reference to dense, borderline unreadable books to come up with a solution. But the views are nice sometimes. I am a personal trainer. People think I manually stretch hot girls in yoga pants all day. Mostly I bum around with people in their 70s and make sure they have a nice time while I try to maintain their ability to kick ass in life. I'm a vet tech. People think I snuggle puppies and kittens all day. And I absolutely try to, but I also assist prep and surgery. Clean all forms of grossness. Assist clean up after euthanasias. Paperwork, lab procedures and tons of other things. I do repair work. People think I do house maintenance, handyman work. But I mainly do furniture and small appliances. Sorry, this is a boring answer. I melt pieces of steel together. When people ask what I do, I tell them I melt pieces of steel together. When people imagine what I do, they imagine me melting pieces of steel together. It's melting steel. It's not rocket science. Except when it is. And then I'm melting pieces of rocket steel together. I caption phone calls for the hard of hearing. I work at a call center. I sit at a computer and when a call comes in I repeat what I hear into a program and the captions appear. I make corrections and format the text in real time. Off-call time. I'm on Reddit, Netflix, YouTube, reading a book or doing a crossword. Musician. A lot of people ask, so what else do you do? Then seem surprised when I say this is it. To the audience my job is drinking beer, playing guitar and having a good time. 99% of my job is preparing for the next show. Rehearsals, writing, poster design, gear maintenance, etc. Lots of long hours in practice and we only get paid for stage time, which is why we have to charge so much. Hollywood's portrayal of computer hacking is absolutely fucking hilarious to anyone in the computer science field. Dude, if you want to put magic in your movie, just put magic in it. Actual hacking consists of staring at a pile of code for hours upon hours at a time. Day trading has been hyped up as an exciting way to achieve riches. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's mostly just staring at a boring screen. You will most likely blow your account multiple times. And even if you're successful, the rewards can be modest unless you started with a ton of money. You'll have to be somewhat frugal so that you can handle losing periods. It's a huge time investment that I'd only recommend if you truly love markets and trading. If you see some trader on YouTube flaunting the money they are making in markets, they are probably making all that money off YouTube instead of trading. I work for one of the main defense contractors as a mechanical engineer. Within that, I work in a role where I develop brand new technologies. The cutting edge stuff. People think I work on Iron Man from 9 to 5 every day. In reality, I do really cool stuff maybe 5% of the time. The other time I'm sitting around waiting for people to get their work to me and trying to make work for myself in an environment that's far too bureaucratic for its own good. Retail floor worker at a hardware store. Romanticized by corporate executives as the constantly cheerful expert brimming with knowledge that customers are eternally grateful to be bestowed with. Unromanticized by actual customers, the non-professional ones, as being hard to find, confusing, bad at explaining things and trying to upsell theme is here. Unromanticized by professional customers as being useless, keeping the store in poor order, giving bad advice, and generally being the living avatar of the Dunning-Kruger effect. In reality, wander around a lot, stock freight, spout bullshit and vague guesses about things I don't know all that much about confidently enough that people will take my word for it. Try to convince people to buy the cheapest thing possible because the prices are all highway robbery. I work in IT. A lot of people think I ask people, did you try turning it on and off all day? The reality is that I ask people, did you try turning it on and off all day? Bus driver. Used to be. People think I just chill out at the terminus and randomly drive a bus around whenever I feel like. Passengers either think I'm either a mental health worker or a chauffeur. In reality, we have tight timetables to stick to. Can't run early or you'll miss intending passengers. Try not to run late or you'll stuff up the people already on board. You have to manage traffic, the timetable, passenger safety, comfort, and trying not to have an accident. On average, we drive for 8 to 10 hours a day with an 8 minutes toilet break every 2 hours or so. When the timetable says, not when you feel like it. And a 50 minutes lunch break. On the plus side, you can't use your phone, so there's a lot of time to listen to podcasts. Unemployed. I want to fucking die. It's not fun. I'm a 12th century French knight. People think it's all shiny armor and rescuing princesses. But central heating and antibiotics won't be invented for another 800 years, so it's not that much fun most of the time. Oh, what's that? You got to go on a crusade. Must be a fun adventure, huh? You try riding a horse across Europe, almost drowning in a shipwreck and then seeing your friends get cleved by Saracens. Baker. People think it's like a bakery and I make huge fanciful cakes. Except that it's just a fast food store with cookies instead of burgers. Construction. I've worked quite a few summers. I'm lucky if I use my tools once a month. The rest is jackhammering, running a wheelbarrow, sweeping, swinging mall, etc. I'm a novelist. Aside from the marketing, designing and editing side of things, even 90% of my writing time is spent trying to come up with a fresh new spin on boy meets girl and they fuck a whole bunch. I'm a restaurant manager. People think I have a leisurely day of talking to guests and the whatnot. I basically babysit grown-ass adults all damn day. I work in a kindergarten. People think I sit at the table all day and drink coffee while I'm watching the children. People often tell me that I should have learned a real job. Like I spent 5 years in school. This is a real job. And 25 children in a group is really exhausting. They're loud. They need to be cleaned. They want to go outside, no matter how cold it is. They constantly ill and you will get every one of these illnesses. And the parents are always watching you and some of them are really annoying. I love my job, but it's not that simple and easy. Software engineer here. My family thinks I fix computers. Flight attendant. It's really not as glamorous as people think it is. Sure, we travel the world, but we are usually tired by the time we get to our destination that there is no energy left to explore and do the fun stuff. My best layovers are when I stay in the hotel room and order delivery and get to sleep properly. Although I do appreciate that the media has shown some light on our actual duties on board. Boarding. Safety. More safety. We still get people who stereotype and think all we do is smile and ask if you want coffee or tea. The service part is definitely part of our job and I love making people's vacations even better. But it is just one of the many things we are responsible for. Asterisk, what they think I do. Asterisk, some sort of programming magic to shape and form thousands of lines of various programming languages into a beautiful responsive website custom tailored to their needs. Asterisk, what I actually do. Asterisk, choose a pre-made theme that comes close to what they imagine. Preferably a free one. Download a few plugins. And maybe Google for the odd line of HTML on Stack Exchange if unavoidable. People look at me and think I'm an IT person or a police officer. I load trucks and drive forklifts. Mine is kind of the opposite. I'm a caregiver for developmentally disabled adults. People tend to think my line of work is extremely difficult and taxing, requiring a lot of patience and skills most people do not have. In fact, working with disabled is and can be extremely rewarding work, and while it does help to be naturally patient, many of the required skills can be easily learned. I'm a librarian. So, you like reading? Is the question I always get. In 6 years I've never once read a book while at work. Being a librarian is a very multifaceted job, but a big chunk of my time as a public librarian is making sure that the considerable homeless population who use the library for shelter during the day aren't harassing anyone. I'm a marine biologist. I don't ride dolphins. I don't go in submarines or pat penguins. I count rings. Yep, 7 years at university to count. Fish have bones in their heads called otoliths. They have rings on them like trees. I pull them out, cut them up and count. Theme is you're on repeat. Fish aging is really important for stock assessment. It's a critical job to keep fisheries sustainable. But at the end of the I'm mostly putting dots on rings with a mouse. I work in a restaurant. The kitchen part. I don't wait tables. You probably know the general stereotype. White hats. Cutting stuff at the speed of light. Clean and always focused on the food. Nope. The kitchen isn't always 100% clean all the time. There is still grime in places. Yet never in food prep areas. Mainly in lower places. We don't have a strict uniform policy. Just wear black jeans and a black shirt and closed shoes. There is no hierarchy. Most people just specialize in one job, such as running the bar or using the grill. No one person is superior. It's not 100% efficient either. We get problems every now and then and some things are slow. It's mainly tedious work, like portioning, washing dishes and putting food on the plate. No one person focuses on one dish. Everything is made in bulk. It's not your home kitchen where you eat most things that you've made. Everything comes in large containers. is made in large containers yet is served in small parts. Perishables are thrown out after the night though. Every restaurant is different and this may not be the same as others. I also have no idea what waiting tables is like. I know it probably wasn't the most interesting read on this post. But thanks for reading. Have a nice day.